What's up, what's up? What's going on, everybody? It's Chelsea, and I am back with a video today talking to you about seasonal work. Now, I wanted to do this video because I just started a job as a housekeeper at a resort in Tucson. And when I started this job last week, I had this feeling, this gut feeling that there wasn't a lot of people maybe at this job that knew about seasonal work. It's not a seasonal job, it's just a regular 9-to-5 job. So I kept getting this feeling like you should talk to some people there about seasonal work already before I even started. So today I had a conversation with someone that works there, and I kind of asked, I was like, hey, have you ever heard of seasonal work? Because he asked me how my day was going. I said, it's okay, it's housekeeping. And he said, well, just stick with it, hang in there. This is a good place to work. And I said, well, I'm not really going to be here that long, honestly. And the amount of confusion that I see on people's faces is always surprising to me when I tell them this. They don't get it. So he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, I'm only going to be here for a couple months because I travel. I consider myself a nomad, especially now because I've been traveling around for so long. And I kind of work at places temporarily and I move around. And I said, like seasonal work. I've done a lot of seasonal jobs, and that's one way that I can travel around. And the more that I explained about what the past 4 years of my life have been like, the bigger his eyes got and the more lit up. I could just see his face light up when I was talking about this. And I told him, I said, you don't have to have a lot of money to do seasonal work. You don't have to really have much money at all. I would definitely advise, there was a bug, would definitely advise to have some money, but you don't have to be, rich. So we were talking about this, and he had never heard of it. And I could kind of tell that he was like stuck. I said, hey, how long have you been at this job? He said, 2 years. And I said, okay, 2 years, that's a long time. He said, yeah. I said, have you ever wanted to travel? Have you ever wanted to leave this place and go somewhere else? And he said, yeah, that's the dream. And I could just tell in his face that it was something that was just so far in the distance from him that it was just so kind of like out of his reach, when I was talking to him about this. And I said something that triggered him in like a really good way. I said, seasonal jobs give you housing, right? And he was like, really? I said, yes, they give you housing. Like 90% of the jobs on CoolWorks give you your housing. Now, I have seen it sometimes. I've seen free housing. I've seen the advertisement for free housing. And in fact, if you are interested in seasonal work and you want to see if there are any free housing options out there for this summer coming up, I would go to coolworks.com, who is not a sponsor of this video, by the way. It's just a wonderful website. I love CoolWorks. I love going to CoolWorks for seasonal jobs because of the fact that the search, what you can type in the search bar, you can search anything. You can literally type free housing and it will pick up on those keywords from all the listings posted, and you can see if they have an option for free housing. Some of these seasonal jobs, they are hurting so bad for workers. I just realized I'm showing my tattoo. Don't pay any attention to that. I usually try to look very professional on here. Who am I kidding? But yeah, I didn't realize that I kind of had that out in the open. Anyways, I don't care, whatever. So yes, so the housing piece, Some places do have free housing. Now, when I worked at a job at Rosario Resort in East Sound, Washington, for a seasonal job last summer, they were doing a thing where all the money that you paid into your housing, I think it was $400 a month, everything that you paid into your housing that was taken out of your paycheck, if you stayed until, the end of the season, they gave you all that money back in one big check. So I think a lot of seasonal jobs, I think definitely some seasonal jobs are doing that. And that's the second place I've worked where they do that for you. I think they're doing that because they're just hurting for people so bad. So anyways, back to the story. So I was talking to him about this, and I could just tell freedom. Like, I could tell he was thinking, like, I could actually do this. Like, I could actually make this happen, because I can tell. And for me, too, the housing part is it's the most expensive piece of traveling. It really is. Like, right now, where I'm staying, I have not paid any rent, 0 rent, in how long? At least 5 months. At least 5 months. So I have paid 0 rent in 5 months. How I did that is I found out about something called house sitting. And I promise I will do a video on this very soon, maybe next week, because it's something that I feel everybody should know about. There are hundreds and hundreds of house sitting jobs all over the country, all over the world. There are hundreds of countries that participate in the house sitting. So I'm telling you, it's something that I'm gonna elaborate a lot on in another video. But the housing piece was always something that was tripping me up. And once I found out about seasonal work, I started feeling real freedom for the first time in my life. Yes, they do take a percentage of your paycheck out of your housing, but I just started feeling like I had a lot more freedom and that I was more in control of my life. And knowing that I could do a season, in Washington, and if I wanted to, I could move to Montana for 3 months or 4 months. The seasonal jobs, they all run for anywhere from 2 months all the way up to, there are places that will hire you year round. A lot of these places will give you food. They have an employee dining room where they have your meals for you there, and they just take a small portion out of your check if that's something that you want. A lot of these jobs, you do not need transportation. That is the other thing. I did not have a vehicle for 2 years, okay, when I started seasonal work. Did not have a vehicle, and I had no issues getting around, getting what I needed, and doing stuff. A lot of these places, like, you can, okay, so for instance, I didn't have a vehicle and I was living at this seasonal job in Colorado. A lot of people, they would just order it through Amazon or something like that, and they would just have the packages delivered to employee housing because they didn't have a Walmart or anything like that within like maybe an hour or more of where I was living. So people without a car, they would just order everything through Amazon, and it was super easy, super simple. So anyways, I told another person at my job about seasonal work, and this person was different. They were younger. They were about in their 20s, early 20s. The first person I talked to, I don't want to judge, but looks like, I'm 31, so they looked like they were in their later 30s. something like that. I don't know. But the younger kid, in my mind, I'm like, the young people got to know what seasonal, like for me, if I knew about seasonal work when I was a kid or when I was 18 years old, I think about that sometimes. I'm just like, and I know it's not good to like think about, oh, I wish this would have been different. I wish that would have been different. But I think like the things that I was doing when I was 18 years old, I had just graduated. I moved to upstate New York with my family and, or to live with my dad. And I just, things, if I knew about travel, if I knew I could do seasonal work when I was 18 years old, I just think how different my life would be right now. I really do feel like it would be so different. So, young kid that I work with in the housekeeping department, I told him, I'm like, you ever heard of seasonal work? He's like, no, what is that? Like high energy. And I'm just like, you know, this is what it is, da 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 da. And he's like, what? He's like, something like that actually exists? He's like, I've never heard about that. So he starts telling, I guess he started telling some of his other coworkers. Because the next day, I said, oh, I forgot to give you the website. The website is coolworks.com. And he said, yeah, me and, or he said, none of us have heard about Coolworks. So I guess he was talking to different people. And I was like, oh, man. Like, and I could see, once again, his whole face lit up when I started talking about this. And I just knew that I was really onto something. The amount of people that don't know, shout out to Timothy Ward. Love you, man. Like, Tim Ward, TIM dash, or space, WARD. Go check out that man's channel. He's incredible. He's one of the reasons why I started seasonal work. I found a video of his talking about the YMCA of Estes Park, which happened to be only 1 hour away from me at the time. I was in a very toxic relationship, and I was stuck. I stayed in it because I could not afford an apartment and at the time, and I felt very stuck. I was having panic attacks. I was really depressed, you know? So when I saw his video on seasonal work on his channel, man, I just felt this feeling that I had never felt before, and it was like, I can finally take back control of my life. Like, I can actually do this and have my own life for myself apart from this. I don't have to let anyone have control over what I do. I don't have to be in situations that I don't want to be in. And that's what I did. I left. They hired me on the spot. And that's what most of these seasonal jobs will do. You will have an interview with these people, and they will hire you in the phone interview, literally. It might take them a couple days for them to send you the paperwork, but I mean, they're on it because they want you. Like I said, some people don't know about seasonal work. A lot of people don't know about seasonal work, so they need people. They really need people. So if you apply and they hire you on, they want you. They want you right now. They want to know, when can you get here? Because they need people. So I was so nervous the first time I did an interview with the YMCA of Estes Park because I wanted it so bad. I was obsessing about it. I was like, I need this so badly. If I could just get this, then I know everything would be okay. And the lady was so nice. Her name's Wendy. Her name was Wendy. She's, doing something else now, I guess. But, and she kind of like, at the end of the interview, she was like, well, she kind of like made a very dramatic pause before she told me I got the job. And when she told me I got it, I started freaking out. I actually started tearing up. And she's like, I knew you would be so excited. I'm like, I am. I'm so happy. actually like makes me emotional just thinking about that, because it really was a huge turning point for me. And at that point, that is really when my travel, I had already at that point, I had lived in Hawaii. I had moved out to Colorado on my own. Just packed my car one day and moved there. Didn't know anybody. Didn't know anybody when I moved to Hawaii either. That's a different story. That is a different story. But no, seasonal work is really what started my travel adventures and my love for travel. I grew up as a kid watching those movies with whoever was driving an RV around with their family. And I always thought, why doesn't my family ever do something cool like that? And I just thought it was the coolest thing. It's like, I would love to just see as much of the country as possible. That's what I love, and that's what I want to do. And none of my family are travelers, you know? I was really the only one that wanted to venture off on my own and do something different. And so I prayed about it. I thought about it. I'm not a religious person, but I am a spiritual person. And I do believe in the power of, if you ask for something out loud and you declare it to be yours, that the universe, everything is conspiring to help you get that thing that you want. So I cannot say enough about seasonal work. I really cannot. I know that there are things that I left out, but I was so inspired to make this video because of the conversation that I had with my friend at work. And I need more people to know about this, because if I would have known about this so much sooner, if these people that I talked to today, I can tell if they knew about this, if they knew about seasonal work sooner, they would not be at this job right now. You know, they would be elsewhere. They would be traveling. They would be seeing something new, you know? And it's exciting too. The energy, I know this video is kind of dragging on. The energy at these seasonal jobs is unmatched. I mean, the people that are coming there, they're so friendly, because these are people that are travelers. These are people that are nomads. They are used to making friends. They are used to being put in these kinds of situations, and they're so welcoming. They really, really are. My first day, I was sitting by myself. We were in orientation, and Tate, I will never forget it. Tate just comes over and sits down, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Tate. What's your name?" And I was just like, I'm super introverted, so I was like, "Chelsea." I was like, "Hey." You know, it's just weird when yes, I am people say I'm shy. I'm not shy. I'm just kind of introverted. So he was so friendly, and because of his warm welcome, it completely opened me up to just have a wonderful day and to relax, you know, just be like, oh, like, these people are cool. And come to find out, this guy lived in Costa Rica. He worked at a hostel in Costa Rica, so he stayed there for a while, but he was a traveler. Then he worked on a cruise ship for months. I mean, he was a traveler. Travelers, I'm telling you, they're some of the nicest people you will ever meet. So the energy at these seasonal jobs, everybody is excited to be there. They're excited to get out of their home town or whatever, and they are just happy to be there. And the energy is up. The energy is good. People are feeling good, and it's just fun. It's fun. I've made friends at seasonal jobs that I'll have for the rest of my life, and people that I will never ever forget. You definitely meet some interesting characters, for sure. I don't know why that is, but seasonal jobs just attract some interesting people, and that's all I'm gonna say. Hey, I love weirdos. I'm a weirdo, you know? I'm totally weird. So, you know, I love people like that, man. But hey, so yes, I'm sure there's some stuff that I left out. If you have any questions about seasonal work, seasonal jobs, I have only worked at the YMCA of the Rockies, Rosario Resort in East Sound, Washington, and Big Sky, Montana. So, but other than that, if you have questions about those 3 places, I can tell you everything you need to know. If you have other questions, any other questions in general, please let me know. Let me know and I will help you out. I want this so bad for everyone because it has changed my life in incredible, amazing ways. And I know it can do the same for you. If that's something that's in your heart and you know that traveling is something that you want to do, I think you definitely need to go for it for sure. I always say that, you know, we never know how much time we have left. There's really no way to tell how much time we have. And I think that's the reason why I'm traveling as much as I am, apart from the fact that I just absolutely love it, is because I have seen things and done things that if I died tomorrow, I can look back and say, I really feel like I lived a full life. Like I really lived. I didn't just come here to work a 9-to-5 job and slave away for somebody else's dream. I came here, I came to earth in this physical body as a spiritual being, and I decided to take charge of my own life and really live it to the fullest in my own way, the way that I wanted to do it, not for anybody else, for myself. And I can say that, and I want you to be able to say that. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out this video. I want to help everybody get to where they want to be with traveling, with just living your best life. So have a great day. Peace, love, all the positive energy. Have a wonderful day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video.